I get in the car, I open up my phone, and I see Tame One from Artifacts died. 52 years old. Then I'm on my phone for another 5 minutes trying to find out stuff about Tame One, and I see that Hurricane G died at 52 years old.
Yeesh.
And I'll be honest, I've been wanting to talk with you and do one ep ever since.
I know, but I was across the pond.
Yeah, I know. Cipha was off, hobnobbing and so he wasn't there for us.
Wow.
When we needed him
Wow.
most.
This is how you start the Rest in Peace episode? Wow. Yeah, man. So what happened? I don't know what happened to either one of them. I just saw a lot of Rest in Peace posts.
Hurricane G, I know, died of cancer.
Oh, fuck.
She had cancer. I don't know what happened to Tame One yet.
Really?
But God, I just can't help but think about Redman. Tame One is his first cousin.
Yep.
They did records together. Blah, blah. Busting off the mad shots. It's the Artifacts and Redman coming through your fucking block. And then, of course, I know Hurricane G originally through Redman. This is the first. This is the first thing I ever remember. Of course.
Mic check. I can get smooth to any groove. Relax the tongue. Let my mic take a cruise around the planet. Packing men like Janet Jackson.
Pull up.
She's asking if I can slam it.
Yo, Redman, man. What the fuck, man? Get the fuck off that punk smooth shit, man. Get with that rough shit, man. You know how we do.
Mic check. I walk around the street with the black tech.
Do you know when I was young, I definitely thought that Hurricane G was a little kid. I thought that was the bit. I didn't think it was a girl. I thought it was a little kid being like, "Yo, what the fuck, Redman?
Right.
Fuck off that." Anyways, so I just shout out to Redman, who I know is like I texted him and he wrote me back and he's. If you peep Redman, if you follow him on social and like peep what he says, he seems to be a guy who's gotten pretty spiritual and like in touch with death and afterlife. And like, so he seemed kind of,
but also very healthy. He looks healthy, and he looks like he definitely looks like he figured out some life shit, some older life shit.
And so he sounded okay over text message.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's because he has found some sort of peace with this stuff. But man, Hurricane G, bro, is a like tough one to explain if you missed it. I was trying to explain to Natalie like Hurricane G, and I'm like, first of all, she was very talked about. She was like, there was a lot of buzz around her.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would say the buzz was ever truly realized, you know?
It doesn't feel like it, no, but
her
there
biggest
was definitely
moment,
a lot of talk.
Her biggest moment, Cipha, you probably don't even remember this until I say it. I don't know, maybe you've thought about it. Her biggest moment was on the Puff Daddy Public Enemy 2000 record. Do you remember that?
No, I mean I remember the record. Is she on there yelling?
Yeah. Here, I'll and she has a feature. She like on Spotify. It says the song's by Diddy and Hurricane G. So this was probably her biggest moment.
Hey, yo, Puff, check this out, fam. I'm tired of niggas hating on the motherfucker. Let's take it to the next millennium on these bitches. You gotta keep bubbling on them, platinum doubling on them. Fuck these niggas. Hey, yo, I bumped into these cats and they was like, yeah, what's up with that nigga Puff? He swear he nice. I said, yo, the brother don't swear he nice. He knows he's nice. You public enemy #1 right now. Fuck that damn shit. Spit that hydro ghetto shit.
That's that shit right there. Whom shall I fear? Throw your guns in the air. Socialize, get down, let your soul lead the way, cause I'm that enemy that you can't.
So yeah, that's probably the biggest Hurricane G.
You think that's bigger than, what do you mean that's bigger than Redman? Than what you just played, Tonight's the Night?
No. I meant just in terms of like, she probably the biggest bag she ever got.
Right.
Right?
I mean, she's also Eric Sermon's ex.
By the way, I've totally forgot about that until I read that he posted Eric Sermon posted, I lost the mother of my first child.
Yeah.
Hurricane G, which of course makes perfect sense when you think about it. Everything's, how easily they were around each other.
So I think I met his daughter. I think I met his daughter when I DJ'd the Bathing Ape anniversary concert at the theater at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this. Yes.
Yeah, 2 girls were backstage, and they were both Eric Sermon's daughters, but different moms.
Mm,
And I think one of them was Hurricane G, was his first
probably.
kid. Yeah, super cool. Both of them very nice, very sweet girls. I spoke to when I saw Eric in Toronto a couple weeks ago with the Just for Laughs festival. I said, "Did I ever tell you that I met your daughters at the Garden?" Da, da, da? He was like, "Oh, word!" Like, yeah. I was like, "Yo, they super cool." He's like, "Yo, they so sweet, nice girls."
By the way, Eric Sermon, honestly, like in terms of my personal interactions, sneaky, wonderful guy towards me always. And when I say
Yeah.
sneaky, I mean I don't talk about it a lot, but like he really has been great to us always.
Yeah, yeah.
And Parrish too. I mean, Parrish has been cool to me. I met Parrish when I was in college, and he was like the fact that my DJ name was PMD. He was so cool about it and made it so he did a drop for me where he called me the real PMD. Like he was just a fucking great sport. Here's a great Hurricane G moment, one that I enjoyed on college radio quite a bit.
Ain't got no bitch on
No, papi, this is the barrio. We got Gucci fritos.
Yeah, what up, man?
Frito that good
What up,
shit.
yeah, da con
De
la
corazón,
cidade
baby.
de Hotel Bayer.
Ay, mira este. Anyway, que tú
Sounds like
quieres.
Cipha's growing up.
What's this?
It's Spanish Harlem 2, Coco Brothers, and Hurricane G.
Oh.
Ahora métemelo bien duro.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
But this isn't the remix. I think there's a more notable version. Hold on.
That sounds like an alcoholic sample. I remember too.
Spanish Harlem Hurricane G. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like the video version's different. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, she had a Tony Touch freestyle that was really dope.
That's what I remember. I remember something with Tony Touch.
Well, this song is Tony Touch. So this
Oh,
record is Tony
right.
Touch.
Okay, yes. That's why I know it. Yeah, and it said Coco Brothers.
Yes,
That's at the era when they were Coco Brothers.
Coco Brothers, Tony Touch, and Hurricane G. Yeah, here's the good version. Here we go.
Ave María Purísima, coño. Los hermanos Chocolate. Directamente de la calle. Que lo tuyo, muchacho, ¿ah?
Yo, Tony Touch is so skinny in this video. Hurricane Gloria.
Gloria para allá.
It's Tony Toca, the one that got you screaming, esa loca. Dale huevo, it's my mic, let go my ego. Spanish Harlem, all the way to San Diego. Make it happen, you know, like moving yayo. Except a product, that shit's from narcotics. Mantequilla, not manteca or sensimilla. Coco Brothers.
Yo, I'm sorry, Tony. Tony's a good rapper, man. I know he's not a rapper, but I enjoy him.
In the B-boy stance in my Adidas, while senoritas be screaming, buenos dias, rock steady. By now, you know the stilo. Mi Corillo still gets down on the Lilo. Soy Taino, Indian, welcome to my TP. Pop in the CD, and let's get freaky. Melaza, Guata Uva, en la casa, Boricua, about to pass it off to the Rasta.
It's the El Generano. Tell your pop way with the hydro. It's the chocolito, make my eyes low.
Oh, I know the song gets a lot of people upset. You know, black and Hispanic rappers together making hip hop. I know people don't believe it happened, Cipha. It's hard to imagine.
How dare they? How dare you
know.
think Latinos were involved?
A song called Spanish Harlem. Oh my God, about a place filled with black and Spanish people.
And some of the Spanish people are black.
Oh, wow. Now you're getting too complicated.
But on the streets of Harlem around the Grand Concourse, he had to force a local amigos and use the balls. Ay, Dios mío, just like El Niños, El Corazón del Está Frío y Poro como Perico.
Why
Why are they doing the Spanish?
why they rapping in Spanish?
Why don't you just let Hurricane G and Tony Touch?
your cousin is asleep, making illegal transactions, worldwide connections.
Shouts to Tech and Steel.
Change like the name Smith and Wesson. See me come true. And my nigga Clep Q. Order 650 blowing up the Gramps tune. Mob beat, super tracks, laying your street bikes. Like a
Here we go.
over dealing for the pearly white.
Blowing down your motherfucking roof. It be Hurricane G subwoofing out your ass. From First Ave up through Park. From the heart, representando for my niggas in Spanish Harlem. Niggas who don't give a fuck. And my bitches box cut, something up tribal. So get the hydro, cause we gonna keep it live all night, y'all. Yeah, one love to my fam in Boricua land. My hermanitos sparking up trees. 112 Buddha Kings, walking up Puerto Rican cream, smacking on rice and beans. And you know my hermanitas keep it real. In 10 boots or high heels. All my PDD-tas who ain't fucking around. Santeras holding shit down for the crown. Tony Touch, Coco Brothers, and I keep the barrio high. No doubt it be CPR in the motherfucking house. I'm talking about crazy Puerto Ricans who beefing. A few heads is busted cause I see them leaking. Freaking cause I be frying niggas up like Gucci fritos. For my papi chulitos. Yeah, yeah, word up. And if you can't get with it, then kiss my culito. But yo, on the real, I wanna say one love and rest in peace to my nigga Rich from 112. Big up Johnson Project.
Yo, man, she's. I'm telling you, if you're not that familiar, she really is like a one of a kind kind of character in hip hop.
Yeah.
Like her voice and style, and as evidenced by the fact that Puff wanted to throw her on that record when she was really underground. And he was super commercial at that point.
Yeah, Puff was always in touch with the underground, though, especially of New York. So her voice was like so ill.
Right.
Then she died of cancer, man. That's fucking rough.
Here we go.
If I die, man, tell my story, man.
49 MCs plus Hurricane G. Lyrically OD, streets like drugs. For all you players and thugs. One love to all my bitches. Hitting your own switches. Girl, get them riches. I maintain.
Ooh, she said hitting your own switches. Eric Sermon reference?
Shots fired.
MCs with heart rolling claps.
That's not what I meant, but keep going.
Hip hop pistol like Eighth Wonder. Doing it my way, somehow, some way. Coming up with funky fly shit every single day. Like organized confusion.
Now, Cipha, as for Tame 1, I don't know if you're as big an Artifacts fan as I am, but you're a fan of their music, correct?
Of course. How many times have we mentioned we wanted to have Artifacts on the show?
Oh man, I know they've been like. I connected with
Artifacts' first
Sensei
album
too.
is fucking fire.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that everyone listening, again, that's one of those complicated things where I assume that all of you know everything that sort of made us. But this album, for like, if you were an East Coast DJ kind of head, by the way, it's literally almost every song on this album.
I mean, it's literally like New York 90s, fucking like pure New York 90s soundtrack.
Yo, by the way, here, you want to hear the definition of underground/college radio from 1994 to 2000? This record right here.
Yeah.
This is the definition, because it wasn't even wrong side of the tracks. It was the B side. If you did a college radio show during this era,
boys like bonjour. One time ripping, one time destruction. Sag my pants to stop destruction. Plus it's quicker when I'm fucking. Split Dutch master faster. Op of is that causes asthma. Asta. Sensei from NJ. Quick they give a fade. Keep it, keep it. Street. Defeat niggas who sleep. I reap the concrete status. Kick your ass with my apparatus. Those who oppose.
By the way, great production. They could rap their asses off. The commitment to graph. I don't know if there's ever been. Honestly, this is kind of a big thing to say. I don't know if any rap group or artist ever repped graph culture the way they did,
Maybe Fat Joe,
but not as much.
not as
Like
much,
they're,
but like
they're directly associated. Like graffiti is to graph is to artifacts what weed is to Cypress Hill.
yeah, I would agree.
You know
with
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah, their logos looks like a tag. Everything about
It
their
is.
yeah.
Yeah, their logo is a tag. Both of their names are their names that they would throw up with.
Right.
However you say that in graph style. Now watch. I'm gonna blow your mind with a bar that you probably forgot about from the song. Ready?
Yep.
I rip rhyme charts apart, I jumpstart on the gunner. Arrest niggas like Hunter from the under, never plunder. Wonder if I get stiff, I'm bound to catch a L. Nah, never that, I'm down with Tame and MCL. Lately playing Hurricane D demos in my walk, man. I walk and I talk and read issues of the source and check out the dreadlocks and bedrock puffin'.
Yo, you heard that?
Check out the dreadlocks.
No, you heard what he said before that?
No, I got caught up.
I get stiff, I'm bound to catch a L. Nah, never that, I'm down with Tame of MCL. Lately playing Hurricane D demos in my walk, man. I walk and I talk and
Wow.
read the source and
He says
Wow.
lately playing Hurricane G demos in
Forgot
my
about
walk,
that.
man.
That's crazy.
And here we are.
Yeah, it's like she was supposed, like, I guess something happened. She never came out.
Yeah, she eventually put out an album later, but like it never happened at the time, you know, like this was my favorite album cut off of Between a Rock and a Hard Place. You remember this one?
No, not yet.
'90s drums.
I calculate that 85 was the year I first grabbed the pen.
No, I don't remember this one.
I hear from rocky shows, no jabos.
It's just a song about old school hip hop. And, you know, of course, them talking about how things are different now. You know, hip hop was dead by '94. One of the great hip hop anthems to me, like songs about hip hop. Here we go.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah. And then what's funny is, like, T-Ray, did he do some of the album or he did
Yeah.
remixes, right?
No, that's an original.
Wait, that's T-Ray?
Yeah, he just said T-Ray.
Oh, yeah, because I met T-Ray with Riz way back in the day, and he was like some white biker-looking dude. I think he was from the Carolinas somewhere.
We might have to get T-Ray. We
gotta
get
get T-Ray. If he's still around, God willing. Inshallah.
Inshallah. I think he is. Let's hold on. Because that's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up. When you think about this album, which is regarded as such a classic by so many people, you don't necessarily think of the producers. And here's who produced it. Come On With the Get Down is Buck Wild.
Yep, Buck Wild.
Wrong Side of the Tracks is T-Ray. Heavy Ammunition's T-Ray. Attack of New Jerusalem, Buck Wild. Naughty Headed N-Words, T-Ray. Way back.
Naughty Headed what?
Nappy Headed N-Words.
That's what it says?
It's about their friend Edward. It's called Nappy Headed Edward.
No, you can say it if it's written.
Oh,
because you're not saying it. You're not saying it from your heart. You're just reading the track listing.
You're sure? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it now. You're sure? I'm good.
Literally, like what if you were presenting a Pulitzer Prize,
right?
And that was the name of an album.
Was the name of the album that the Pulitzer Prize was I'm sorry, Naughty Headed N-Words? I said nappy. Naughty Headed N-Words. T-Ray did Way Back. T-Ray did Flexi with the Tech.
Flexi. Play that one real quick when you get a chance.
I just played it.
Oh yeah, that was Flexi with the Tech. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's fire.
That's T-Ray.
That was the B side of Wrong Side of the Tracks.
Correct. I already said
Which
that.
Wrong
Thanks,
Side
bro.
of the Tracks is a fucking, I think one of my favorite hip hop beats ever.
Damn. So T-Ray did both. T-Ray did Wrong Side of the Tracks and Flexi with the Tech.
Yeah.
And then Redman did Coming Through Your Fucking Block. T-Ray did Lower the Boom. Buck Wild did What Goes On. Dynamite Soul, T-Ray. What's Up Now, motherfucker, T-Ray. And Come On with the Get Down remix, Buck Wild. Of course, we got to play a clip of that because that was.
Yeah, we gotta get T-Ray. That's a great one.
And now we got to get Elda Sensei too. Because, by the way, Elda Sensei is the only member left. Tame 1 died and DJ Chaos died a few years ago too, the DJ of Artifacts. By the way, Buck Wild and Artifacts just put out an album that I didn't have any out. Yeah. Actually had a couple joints on it. The first song's kind of fire.
They just put it out recently?
Hold on. I'm going to tell you what it's called.
I'll hold.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? The new album was called No Expiration Date. And was this the one I fucked with? Yo, Buck Wild, bro.
Just from the voice, the fame pops, stay spots, entertain days, remain flame shot, brutal execution.
Pretty dope. Pretty dope. No Expiration Date is out right now. Now,
so
of course,
no one knows how he passed away.
Nothing I know of. Buck Wild remix of Come On with the Get Down, of course. College radio banger.
I transmit the fatness over whackness with my Campbell blunts and matches. Other rappers try to catch us, but I roast them up for practice. So act like you knew where you'll be through in your division. I've been waiting and watching for you to fuck up your position. Man, listen, isn't this some shit for niggas' asses? Like when I flip the script pause and flick my Philly asses. Yup, that's the status of the rappers with the cabbage. Other crews can act savage, but they all fall below average. My head naps is massive and I'm evil like an evil.
So it's crazy. I'll say this too. They may have made my favorite, like one of the most complete 12-inch I ever bought in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It was the single for this. So you had it was Dynamite Soul, which was already at the time that was like my favorite album cut when they dropped it. But wait, that wasn't enough. Because when they dropped the single, they did the classic. Put on the original. They put on the remix.
We got the lip service. We got the breath control. Artifacts in the house with the Dynamite Soul.
I remember thinking back in those days, like, so they just made a new song for the 12-inch. You know what I mean?
And by the way, you know who I think this is the first appearance of? Remember this?
Cut off like illegal cells. Getting props in spots that I ain't been yet. Take the picture at a funeral because you posing.
Mad skills.
Mad skills.
That's right.
You don't know where I am, so you can beware and get a come past my location. Cause my crew, we roll mad deep like Haitians on some no fair. Send your nose, man.
Easy, man, skills. You're getting trouble.
Yeah. Siph doesn't condone what he just said. So Siph, you have the regular, you have the remix, but then they went to the next level and throw on a new unreleased song.
I don't even remember this one.
Oh, this was pretty underground, but I love this shit so much.
What is this called?
It was called Who I Am.
Wait, what are you playing that off of?
It's shitty. It's off YouTube.
Oh.
On my phone. I have the 12-inch, of course, and it's they had so much good shit.
Yeah, you hit it on the head perfectly when you said the college radio, because 90s is a very broad term.
Super. And
but now when I say 90s in my head, this is what I think of.
Right.
And then everything expands from that. You know what I mean? Some people think his 90s is like, I don't know, what was the more commercial stuff of the 90s? Like,
What
this
do
is how we do it. Or just in
Yeah.
general, when people think back to the 90s.
It could be
Or when you say
CeeLo,
hip
I
hop,
wish.
yeah, when you say hip hop in the 90s, like my mind goes to this sound that you're playing now, like these Artifacts records,
Oh, yeah.
Stretch and Bob,
Me too. And I said
Smith
this in
and
my post on
Wesson.
Instagram, and I think it's important to note, like, there are groups out there that we love to talk about or play on the show that were dope, and you kind of like have a little chuckle. And then there are groups that were like really good, thorough groups. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I consider Artifacts to be in that category of like, that was not throwaway 90s college radio underground rap. That was really, they dropped a fucking
Well, it was like the high end of underground.
Yes.
With like, yes, they were underground. They had big label deals, even though they probably didn't do well in the commercial game, you know, of what we consider commercial success. But they had deals on major labels where there's a lot of underground, especially from that era, that was just like some 12-inch shit and
Exactly.
literally
By the way,
independent.
Isn't it crazy though? If we were to go back and find out how many copies they sold of Between a Rock and a Hard Place, if you were to do that now, you'd be rich. You'd be doing great. You'd be fine. But back then you were doing it with a major, and it didn't sell enough to make an impact.
You mean if you were doing it independently?
Yeah, if they were like just stream, like if Between a Rock and a Hard Place came out right now and garnered the same level of attention and respect, but streaming, they would be living a really nice life.
Right.
They'd be straight. They'd be touring.
And then they'd have merch.
And they'd have merch themselves. Now, don't get me wrong, they toured then and stuff too. But it wasn't the same. They were on promotional tours. They weren't doing big venues.
Bro, I've probably mentioned this before, but if you're a new Juan Ep listener, thank you for being here. Juan Ep, in my Nassau Community College, there was a concert. It was Organized Confusion, Beat Nuts,
Organized Artifacts
and Common.
Because that same tour came to DC and I wasn't allowed to
Search.
And Search was on it too. Wow.
Search, I think Search put it together.
Search probably hosting it.
I think Search put it together. And it was like, I remember they were like, oh yeah, we got this tour. It was cheap. It was like they got the tour for like 10 grand or something.
The tour
and
was
I volunteered to work it.
I believe it was called Best of the Underground.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it came to the 930 Club in DC.
Imagine you're the Artifacts or Common or the Beat Nuts. And you know the tour's 10 grand and there's 5 groups. You're getting two grand.
Something like that.
You're getting $2,000 and you're happy about it.
Yo, it was called. Someone wrote in my comments the other day. It was called.
I got a Organized Confusion poster, not a poster, but the squares, like a 12-inch poster.
Yeah.
With all of their autographs on it.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a picture from that day too. I gotta find it.
With Artifacts?
With all of them, everybody on that tour. And I remember Pharoah Monch had the asthma machine in his backpack, and he would come off stage when Prince Poe was rapping and take us fucking hit off the asthma machine.
my boy Chris Allen, who I went to high school with, who's a graffiti kid. He wrote, "Yeah, fucked up. I'll never forget seeing Artifacts, Common, Beat Nuts, and Organized do the 930 back in the day. Tame hit my book that night too, meaning Tame won.
Yeah,
tagged his.
It was in the 930.
930 Club, yeah.
Oh shit.
And it was a weeknight, and my parents did not. Me going to concerts on weeknights were not a thing.
And look at you now. Still not going out.
Still not going out on weeknights. Still not a thing.
Now we know where you got it from.
Yeah, I was taught very young. We don't go out on weeknights. So, anyways, in the coming days, I would like to, when things calm down a little bit, get El the Sensei up here. Maybe Cipha have him come in studio once we're set up here. Maybe next week.